Anyone that's had to travel on an airplane knows that they're not always a comfortable experience. When you put people in proximity, tempers will flare and attitudes will shift and change. Let's have a look at a situation that unfolds that really did not need to in this reality check.
I want on the
Don't fuck with it.
I really love.
Don't fuck with it, I said.
Chill, bitch.
Y'all both gonna get kicked off the plane. Just chill out. Just chill out. Yeah, maybe y'all shouldn't sit together no more.
Yes. I opened this then.
No, it's hitting me in the face. I told him that this is not yours. This is criminal.
Yeah.
This fight occurs over air conditioning. Let that sink in for a moment. Something that's designed to cool you down, in this instance, heats things up. One gentleman decides that he's going to have the air blowing on his face because he's hot. He wants to cool down, he wants to relax, he wants to sleep. The guy next to him, and let's be fair here, he's one seat over from him, doesn't want it there, and he starts interfering with it. Already we have what's an insurmountable impasse here. The air conditioning units are designed to be adjusted to blow onto the individual that wants them. That shouldn't be something that's news to you out there. But if you've never been on an airplane, now you know. I suspect there's a little bit of a language barrier here as well, and I'm not blaming anybody for that, but it can factor into frustrations. If you've ever seen a child get angry and throw things and have a tantrum, as often as not it's because they can't quite communicate what they need to get across, and the anger builds up in them and the frustration comes through. This can be the same when we're looking at situations where language barriers can enter into it. That does not, however, give you carte blanche to be an absolute dick. In this instance, he chooses to go firmly into big dick territory, and he starts to hit and push towards the guy. That's always going to cause problems. When you make it physical, you have now committed the assault. An assault can be done with words. A situation that's going to be an assault can be preemptively entered into. But when you actually start touching people without their permission and without reason, you're already in the criminal side of things. The reaction he gets from the guy in the chair is an interesting one. There's a sort of, you did not just do that situation. And then he pops in one back out as if to say, I'm not standing for this, and that's my line in the sand. Very understandable. Is it something that I would necessarily do on a plane? Maybe, maybe not. I'd like to say that I'm calm enough that I wouldn't have popped him back. I think deep down low I know I would have thrown one back. I'm aware of my own shortcomings and I'm aware of my own lines in the sand. You put hands on me, chances are hands are coming back at you. Doesn't mean I'm going to pound you through the floor, but it does mean there'll be an education process coming along with that. As he gets up and he gets aggressive, you hear one of the other passengers shout out, guys, you're both going to get thrown off the plane. The guy with the travel pillow on, who was the first to be assaulted, actually looks at the hostess and calls them over. Smart course of action. Because if there's someone on there which is designed to deal with these situations, you want them involved. You want them over and you want them to handle it. As he does that, he goes to sit back down again. And the guy that didn't want the air in the first place takes advantage of that and starts swinging punches. Now we've hit that line in the sand. Enough is enough is enough. Picks him up, throws him right into the aisle. Doesn't hit him hard. Doesn't punch him, doesn't elbow him. Just throws him hard enough and then gives him a very clear directive. Chill, bitch. Even with a language barrier in place, he's now set a clear message. I'm not putting up with this. I will wreck you if you do it again. So we've gone from disagreement. We've gone from an initial push and exchange and drawn a line. And then the line gets transgressed once more. Okay, we'll go one further. Bruce Lee's first student, Jesse Glover, used to have a saying, let me know how far you want to go and I'll meet you there. It doesn't mean he wants to start it. It does mean he'll finish it. And what we have here is an escalation, a disagreement, to a little push, to a punch, to a throw. And he's like, let me know where you want to go again. I'm happy to meet you there. The stewardess is lucky enough to come in here and start to bring the situation down. Now, I would suggest, being as they're on the ground, one of them is going to get ejected. They certainly should not be sat next to each other for the duration of the flight. It does also illustrate, though, that when there are other people around that are responsible to handle these situations, we can't always hand it all the way over to them. If he'd have been waiting for the stewardess to get involved, he could have taken a kicking, he could have taken a beating. The guy could have kept throwing the punches. He still allowed his own personal boundaries to be enforced, but he didn't go further than he needed to. I consider that a good application of force in a situation. A push, a punch, a toke, an arm bar, a leg bar, they're all relevant. They're all necessary in certain circumstances. But you always need to be able to stop yourself. As soon as the stewardess was involved, he sat down and let the thing play itself out. He didn't need to do any more. But he also wasn't willing to let himself be a doormat and walked over. This is important. Our own rights are sacrosanct to ourselves. The rights of others are sacrosanct to them. Whereas they meet in the middle, this is where the conversation has to happen. In this case, it was with full contact sign language. I wish it wasn't that instance. Maybe the stewardess could have come in sooner, but perhaps she was busy with something else. But the fact that someone was willing to get physical over air conditioning, of all things, suggests there's a problem in that person's psychological makeup. Either they're an angry person in life, or they're just used to getting their own way. But in this instance, he found someone that wasn't willing to let him get his own way. And what's important to remember, these days more than ever, is that your rights end where someone else's begin. That's also where the conversation needs to happen, because might does not always make right. And the firstest with the mostest is not always the bestest, as we saw in the situation that just unfolded. Thanks for watching, guys, and thank you for all the support. There are a couple of ways you can actually help us support even more. One is to like, share, and subscribe to the videos that we put out to help get the word out there. The second one is to buy the Reality Check training course that we put out. The link is in the description. That's over 7.5 hours of quality content designed to help you realize who you are and the decisions that you make. And the third and brand new way is to click below and join our Patreon, where we're going to be happy to keep providing you content with exclusive updates. And thank you for helping us help you.